Hello, and welcome to Fearfull Wickedness. I am your host, the storyteller. We hope you enjoy tonight's tale. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment.
Her phone rang. Rachel, Alyssa's voice cooed. He's such a good boy. So polite. He even said he remembered me from the playground. Tears streamed down Rachel's face. If you hurt him, Alyssa chuckled. Relax, I just want what you have. A son. A family. Then the line went dead. And Rachel knew this nightmare was only beginning. 5 months earlier, Rachel Carter was used to stress. Raising her 5-year-old son, Stephen, alone while working full-time at a new office job wasn't easy. But she did it gladly. Stephen was her world. His laughter made every sleepless night worth it. Her new job was supposed to be a fresh start. The office was small, quiet, and just a short drive from Stephen's school. The people were polite, even if a little distant except for one coworker, Alyssa. Alyssa was friendly, maybe too friendly. At first, Rachel chalked it up to office camaraderie. She always had an extra coffee for Rachel in the mornings. She complimented her clothes, her perfume, her smile. It was innocent, Rachel told herself. But then, she started asking about Stephen. How's Stephen? Excuse me? Asked Rachel. You have a son, right? Alyssa had asked one afternoon, leaning against Rachel's desk. 5 years old, isn't he? Rachel hesitated. Yeah, how do you know? Alyssa grinned. You mentioned it once. I just have a good memory. He's fine. He's finally made some friends at school, and he likes his teacher. He needs to learn to pay attention a little better. But I'm sure he'll grow out of it. That's nice. It's important to have friends. If you ever need some time alone, I'd be happy to babysit. It was a strange offer, Rachel thought, but she shrugged it off. As weeks passed, the gifts started appearing. A red baseball cap, Stephen's favorite color, left on Rachel's desk. Then a small toy car, the same kind Stephen collected. Rachel hadn't told anyone about that. Have you been leaving things for Stephen? She asked Alyssa one evening. Alyssa smiled. Just a little something here and there. Kids like surprises, right? Rachel's stomach twisted a little bit. Yeah, but you don't even know him. Alyssa shrugged. Not yet. A month later, Rachel could have sworn she saw Alyssa at Stephen's junior league ball game. When she went over to make sure, Alyssa was gone. Maybe I'm seeing things, she thought to herself. Maybe it was Alyssa, but she was there with her nephew or a boyfriend's son. That night, Rachel double-checked her locks. Just a feeling she had, maybe a mother's intuition. One Saturday afternoon, Rachel was cleaning the house while Stephen played in the front yard. She could hear the hum of his remote-controlled car as it zipped across the grass, his delighted laughter echoing through the open windows. She only took her eyes off him for a few minutes. All of a sudden, she realized she didn't hear the car humming. When she glanced out the window, the yard was empty. Rachel felt sick. Stephen, she called, stepping onto the porch. Silence. Then she saw it, his red baseball cap, lying in the grass near the sidewalk. His remote-controlled car turned upside down in the driveway, its wheels still spinning slightly. Her heart pounded as she ran to the street, scanning the quiet neighborhood. No sign of him. No sign of anyone. She called the police, her hands shaking too hard to dial properly. But deep down, she already knew who had taken him. Her phone rang. Rachel, Alyssa's voice cooed. He's such a good boy. After the phone call from Alyssa, Rachel knew she had to act quickly. The police were doing all they could, but Rachel wasn't the type just to sit idly by. Where could she be? Where would she have gone with my son? Rachel thought about Stephen, and if this crazy person thought she loved him as much as Rachel, then maybe she would take him somewhere he wanted to go. The beach, Rachel thought. Yes, he's always wanted to go to the beach. Now where is the nearest one? Harding Lake. That's it, Rachel thought. The small beach at Harding Lake was about 260 miles away. Close enough Rachel could be there by nightfall, and it would be the perfect spot for Alyssa to hide from police and try to occupy Stephen while she comes up with her next move. Almost 5.5 hours later, Rachel arrived at the beach. She stopped at the ranger station, but saw a sign that read, "Making rounds, be back at midnight." 40 more minutes, she thought. I can't wait. She saw a couple walking past and asked them if they had seen a woman about her height with long brown hair. I'm supposed to meet my sister and nephew who is 5 years old. The couple directed her to a small cabin that sat directly on the lake. As Rachel approached the cabin, she could hear Alyssa yelling at Stephen as he cried, begging for his mother. She didn't want you. That's why she gave you to me. I even brought you to the beach, you ungrateful. Just then Rachel threw a chair from the porch through the window. Alyssa was stunned and ran to collect Stephen, but Rachel was too quick, grabbing Alyssa and throwing her down. Picking up the chair she had thrown, Rachel swung it repeatedly at Alyssa, knocking her unconscious. She ran to Stephen, who was huddled in the corner. Mommy, he shouted. But as Rachel picked him up, she was struck from behind by Alyssa. Dropping Stephen, the two women fought, stumbling outside and eventually into the lake. Rachel, getting the upper hand, screamed at Alyssa, "Please stop. I don't want you to die. I want you to waste away in a prison cell." But Alyssa wouldn't stop. "I'll never give him up," said Alyssa. "Never. He's mine." Alyssa's foot and leg became tangled up in some brush under the water as the undertow current began to get more swift. Rachel broke free of Alyssa, trying to pull her from the current, but Alyssa wouldn't have it. She would have Stephen or die trying. The third time Alyssa went under, she didn't resurface. By the time Rachel got to Stephen and called for help, Alyssa was gone. The rangers and other authorities swept the lake, but Alyssa's body was never recovered. Rachel went on through the next few months, trying to help Stephen work through the trauma of being taken. Everything seemed to be going well, except Rachel thought to herself, "Didn't I throw that red baseball cap away?"